Hey guys, I'm George, the nice medic gentleman, and it's time for your dose of some fragrance content. It's also time to get some reviews out of the way. Today I'm going to talk about scents from the brands of Fragrance World, Armaf and Paris Corner. So the fragrances that I'm going to review in today's video are called Reham Wild Mineral from the brand of Paris Corner, Sui Generis from Fragrance World, Kohl again from Fragrance World, and Armaf Mandarin Sky Elixir. Now, two of those fragrances, Kohl and Mandarin Sky Elixir, I did my first impressions on them. The one from Paris Corner I've mentioned in a few videos already. But for the first time I'm showing this one, Sui Generis from Fragrance World. Now, as you can imagine, all four fragrances featured in today's video are clones, but some of them are clones with a bit of a twist, and that can be said about the Reham White Mineral. In fact, this has quite a heavy twist in my opinion. Now, this smells a lot like Valentino Uomo Born in Roma, but at the same time it carries a few additional notes which the original fragrance doesn't have. Now, it has some of the aromatic nature of the original fragrance, it has some of the spiciness and some of the sweetness of the original fragrance, and that's where the similarities end. Where you'll find here, in addition to, for an example, Born in Roma, Valentino Uomo Born in Roma, is a strong fruity note which comes from a peach note, which in a way comes across as like the peach note that's used in something like let's say Herba Pura from Zerzhov. This also has a bit of an aquatic nature. It feels a little bit watery, fresh or watery, and those two notes are quite strong, and that's why this feels like inspired by Valentino Uomo Born in Roma, but without being an actual clone. This is like a mix between Valentino Uomo Born in Roma and Herba Pura, and has quite a strong sort of a shower jelly vibe on its dry down. But it smells sweet, it smells fresh, it smells aquatic and fruity, it's likable, it smells modern, it smells masculine, and it's very easy to wear. The quality is good, can feel a little bit synthetic up close, but in the air this smells actually pretty nice. When it comes to performance, it's a good performing scent. In fact, it's quite a good performer. Total longevity is pretty solid at around about 8 hours. This also projects quite nicely in the first couple of hours. So performance wise, this is a good performing scent. Price wise, it's priced at around about 25 euros here in Europe, so around about $30. So it's a lot cheaper than let's say Valentino Uomo Born in Roma. And overall, this is a nice, fresh, fruity, sweet and aromatic masculine scent that's very easy to wear, and that can be a daily driver throughout the year. So all in all, I've been quite happy with Reham Wild Mineral. Now, the next one that I'm going to talk about will be this black one from Fragrance World, which is called Kohl. Now, this one, as I said, is also a clone. In this case, this one is cloning or feels like very heavily inspired by a fragrance from the brand of Tom Ford, which is called Black Lacquer. And this smells a lot like that one. So it's a little bit more on the unique side, and it's a little bit more on the challenging side. It opens up, slightly fresh, but opens up spicy, opens up smoky, and a little bit green. This has a bit of a plasticky feel as well, feels kind of inky in a way. It's a very interesting scent that again feels quite unique in my opinion, and can be challenging for some people. Initially, when I first got this one, when I tried it for the first time, and in my first impressions video, I was still trying to wrap my head around what the scent is trying to do. Now that I've given it more wears, now that I've been wearing it in the proper season, in a colder weather, I've been starting to appreciate this one more than I initially did. Still, this is not like a love for me, this is not like one of my most favorite scents, but nowadays I think I understand it a little bit more and I appreciate it a little bit more. As a clone of Black Lacquer, at least from what I remember the original one, this seems to smell pretty close. It also offers pretty good quality, I would say. And it has pretty decent performance. He's been giving me somewhere between 7 to 8 hours of performance. Where this lacks a little bit is the projection from my experience, but maybe that's a good thing, because I don't think that something with you know, a pretty challenging scent profile is always a good thing, that that fragrance will project super strongly, let's say. It's a masculine scent that feels dressed up, that feels very suited for cold weather, has a bit of a seriousness to it, and overall this is an interesting scent that, as I said, I've been enjoying more than I initially did, and I'm understanding a little bit more what it's trying to do right now. Overall, this is a good, unique fragrance from Fragrance World. The next one from the brand of Armaf, which is called Odyssey Mandarin Sky. This one again is a clone, but with a twist, and the closest thing that this one smells to is something from the brand of Jean Paul Gaultier, which is called Scandal par Homme Le Parfum. So at this point in time, Armaf have three different clones of the Scandal line. We have the original Mandarin Sky, which is a clone of the original Scandal EDT. We have Armaf Checkmate the King, which is a clone of Scandal Absolu. And now we have Mandarin Sky Elixir, which is a clone of Scandal Le Parfum. And this as a clone of Le Parfum is done very nicely, but as I said, it has a bit of a twist. So it still feels a lot sweet with that caramel type of sweetness, but this one feels a little bit more aromatic than, let's say, the original Mandarin Sky. But this also has a few additional notes which the original fragrance lacks, and those notes are a bit of an incensey vibe, a hint more spiciness than the original, and also a bit of a coconut note. And those notes are borrowed from a different original fragrance which comes from the brand of Paco Rabanne, and it's called Invictus Victory Elixir. So this is like a mix between Scandal par Homme Le Parfum and Invictus Victory Elixir, leaning a lot more heavily into the side of Scandal par Homme Le Parfum. But both fragrances have one thing in common, and that's the fact that they're sweet, modern, youthful, and the combination of those two actually makes an end result which smells very, very nice. This smells of very good quality, although up close again may feel a little bit synthetic. In the air this smells very, very nice in my opinion. It has pretty strong performance. When it comes to total longevity, this is probably the longest lasting fragrance that I'm featuring in this video today, and also tends to perform quite nicely for the first couple of hours. Price wise, again, exactly the same as pretty much everything else, one about 25 to 30 euros here in Europe, so $30–35 in the US. And it's a fragrance that feels a little bit more youthful and definitely is more orientated towards the colder months of the year, just like this one I forgot to mention. This one though doesn't feel so dressed up. This feels more like a laid back, like a night out type of a fragrance that smells modern, that smells sexy, and I kinda dig this one quite a lot. And the last one that I'm going to review today is called Sui Generis, again from Fragrance World. This one is heavily inspired by Givenchy Gentleman Society Extreme. And the scent here is very, very likable. I like this one a lot, but I find one problem with this one, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later. Now the scent itself smells very nice, especially the opening I really like a lot, because the opening is aromatic. It feels fresh and minty. It feels sweet and kind of floral with a bit of a woodiness somewhere in the background. And this one has a coffee note, and this coffee note makes the big difference in the opening of this one, because this smells super, super nice in the first few minutes. I absolutely love the opening of this one. Now, after a few minutes, this starts to become a little bit sweeter, a little bit more woody, slightly creamy. And overall, this is another very modern smelling scent that's very likable and very easy to wear, and the overall quality is very nice. As a scent, it smells pretty similar to the original fragrance from Givenchy, and this is a nice masculine fragrance. The quality is good. There's out of this one I don't pick up any synthetic vibe or anything else, and I just really like the scent of this one. But now I'm going to get to the problem of this fragrance, and that's the performance. And to be more specific, that's the projection. Total longevity on skin has not been bad. I've been getting around about 7 hours of performance out of this one. But where this one really lacks is the projection. Now, initially when you first spray it for the first few minutes, with maybe because of that mintiness, because of the aromaticness in the opening, this, you know, looks or smells like it will project nicely for a good period of time, but unfortunately that lasts for only a few minutes, and soon after that it starts to sit closer and closer to the skin, unfortunately, and within 1 hour after you spray this one, it's more than a skin scent than anything else. Again, total longevity is not that bad, but the projection is more on the weaker side, unfortunately. Now keep in mind, I've had this one for a few weeks now. I've not talked about this one for a reason, and that's the very same reason, is the performance. I just wanted to give it some time just to see whether it will improve with time or not. It did improve just a little bit, but not enough to call this one a good performing scent. Keep that in mind. But the scent itself is a very likable. It's a very easy to wear, very versatile fragrance that can be worn throughout the year, in my opinion. Can be a signature scent for someone, as long as they can you know, tolerate that slightly sort of a lower performance. I would advise you to overspray this one if you end up picking up a bottle, because that's the only way that you're going to get good performance out of it. So guys, in today's video I reviewed a total of 4 fragrances, 2 from Fragrance World, 1 from Armaf and 1 from Paris Corner. I hope that you found today's video interesting or helpful. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me in my next video for your dose of some fragrance content. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.